Hi, this is Jimmy from CreateUp, and recently I've been working with a lot of partial data, with some requests coming from different people across, some Slack channels or even from my own clients. Sometimes they approach me with some impartial data, and I wanted to cover this topic and show you how to enrich incomplete data for outreach. Now, obviously, I'm going to talk about outreach because this is what we do. We do B2B outreach, but if you are simply looking to update your CRM records, this still might be useful for you. So what is partial data? Usually it comes, in most cases, comes in these three forms. People are either missing emails, they might be missing phone numbers. Most of the time, from what I notice working with these incomplete data sets, is that people don't have job titles. And then also another common one is when we get approached with some kind of data set that only has company names. And from there, you're supposed to build your entire list. So, usually this kind of partial data issues, they stem from outdated info, or just having multiple fragmented sources, which can cause, having kind of broken records in your CRM or other places where you store your data. So is this a problem? I would definitely say yes. And as we move more and more into working with CRMs and trying to keep this internal data on point, I see that this can be a problem if it's not maintained well. There are some tools like Apollo that if you utilize it as a CRM, it will actually update the data for you or prompt you to update your data with some notifications. But if you're using a CRM that doesn't have this auto enrich or auto update feature, then your data can become outdated pretty quickly, and I'm talking months here. So the main issues that bad data can cause is that it can mess up your outreach. Definitely can break your CRM. I saw some funny cases and heard a lot of horror stories of thousands and thousands of duplicates, and just weird records showing up in people's CRM. So it's definitely a problem. And of course, having bad data in your CRM or any other place where you keep your data for your business can cause mistakes because when people look up data in the CRM, they usually think that it's correct. So it can lead to missed opportunities, and you don't want that. And bad data is actually something that you should think of. Probably think how to prevent this from happening, instead of reaching out to me to fix your data. Of course I can do that, but as I said, it can be prevented if you connect your CRM with Apollo or a similar tool that can update this data for you. So the solution to this problem is actually called data enrichment, where you can turn your partial data into complete data sets with tools like Clay, Apollo, Persona, Zoom Info, Lasha, Ample Market. There's so many of these tools, and I prefer to use Clay and Apollo when it comes to enriching data. But obviously, you can do your own research and find whatever works best for you. So I'm going to give you an example in this video, and this is an example of a campaign that is already launched, and I launched it like 2 days ago and it's already producing leads, so I know that this works. And for this example, I actually had a list of only company names and some websites, right? There were some websites, but not a lot. As you can see, there was 337 records in total, and 40% of those were incomplete. They were missing websites. So 135 records without websites. So I used the Clearbit enrichment for those incomplete records. It was able to find 40% of those. And then for the rest of them, I ran the GPT mini agent, whatever, and it was able to find the other 60%. And at the end of the process, the data accuracy was 100%. I checked every single out of those 135 URLs, and every single one was the correct URL, which was the company's website. And the last thing I put there was the API cost. So for GPT API, it cost me $0.04. And I just like to put that number there. Hopefully it can encourage more and more people to start leveraging these tools because of how ridiculously cheap it is to actually run these APIs. So the process is pretty simple here. We are going to upload the CSV to Clay, enrich with Clearbit, enrich with GPT Mini, then merge our results and output. So once we have this output, really from there you can do whatever you want. So in my case, I created a campaign. So I took all of this data back into Apollo and then from there made another list so that I could make a campaign. But if you are just trying to enrich this data for your CRM or whatever use case that you have, you can still do the same process. And what matters is that you get the result and that you get your data covered. Before we jump into me showing you how to actually do this, I run the agency called CreateUp, where we create opportunities for our partners in B2B, and we build outbound systems. So let's get into me showing you how to actually do this. All right, so here we are in Clay, and we are going to create a new table. In this case, we are importing from CSV. I have it here. And make sure you name your tables. So new blank table, because Clay is actually one of the worst things about Clay is keeping your things organized. So make sure to have some kind of naming convention. So I'll just call this video example. All right, so this is the data set that I was mentioning. And as you can see, there are 337 records. We have company names, and then we have some websites. We are missing some websites, but there's a good chunk of them already here. And I don't need this. We are going to actually filter out first. So let's call this company name, and this one we can call original website. So let's filter so that original website is empty. So 135 don't have the website. And then we can just add an enrichment, Clearbit, find domain from company name. We have company name already selected. We are using Clay's account and add the fields. There we go. And we can output the domain text field, save and run for all 135. Okay, so let's see how many can Clearbit get. It is running right now. This can take, a few minutes. So instead of just waiting around, let's prepare the next step, which is using AI. So for all the domains that Clearbit is unable to find them, like here, no results found, we will use AI to basically search the internet and find the correct domains for us. Now, I'm not going to use the Argon model. I want to use 4.0 from my own API. And then I have a prompt because, this campaign is already launched. So I already did this did this flow before. So I'm just going to reuse my prompt that I have. And I'm going to explain also my reasoning behind it. So find out the website domain for the company called company name. And they are one of the exhibitors at Heavy Duty Aftermarket Week. And I gave a little bit more info about who usually attends this conference, so that AI has, kind of a background story, and it can understand which kind of industries, look for when it's looking for these websites. So the more context that you can give the AI, the better results you're gonna have. And then at the end of this, you want to say output the website domain only if you find it. If you don't find the domain, output not found. So you don't get a story about how the AI found the domain. You really don't care. You just want the domains at the end of the day. So let's just go save this. And as you can see, Clearbit was able to find a good chunk of these. And that means that we need to do another filter. So we have this filter that original website is empty. Now let's make sure that we have another filter which says that domain is also empty. Meaning that there is no website on the original record, and then there is no website by Clearbit. So now it is time to run the AI prompt, and we already prompted, so we just need to run this. So just run this on all 81 rows, and hopefully it's going to output only the domains and not give us a short story of how it was able to find the domains. So here we go, it's already working. As you can see, it's giving us domains. Some of them are, HTTP, some of them have www, but don't worry, because we will actually take care of all of this simply using one of Clay's native things. All right, so pretty good. It was able to find all of them. Some are still in queue, but yeah, I would say that this worked out really well. And now the last thing is to merge the results. So you get one column with all of this info. So how you can do that is add column and then merge columns. So you want to use the first one, which was original website, and then use the one from Clearbit, which is called domain. Yes. And then we can run the GPT one. It's called response. Okay. So save this. And there you go. You have now one column containing all of the info from 3 sources, all in the same place. Now, the last thing that I'm going to show you is the formatting. So just go to new enrichment and normalize domain. Normalize the domain. You select this one, new column, and then the type of normalization, I just want to have isolate the domain, add the fields, normalized URL, and run for all of the rows in the table, and you will see how the output looks in the end. And now that you have the domains, it's actually like from here you can do whatever you want. So you can either, start your campaigns, update the CRM, or whatever you're trying to do. When you have domains, basically you have the doors open, because based on the domain, you are able to find pretty much anything. Usual steps for me after this, after getting the domains, is running Apollo's own API to enrich data, so that I can take this company data and website and find the actual people who work at the company, and then find a way to reach them. So I hope you find this useful. As you can see, it's working great. We were able to recover 100% of the websites, and from here it's pretty easy to create a campaign or update the CRM with these records. You just go to actions and export, and you have your data saved.